And about 20 minutes later, E.W. Swanton, the great doyen of English cricket writing and broadcasting, tapped me on the shoulder and said, "Let me tell you, dear boy, I saw Hammond, and Hammond has them both in a corner."
Wally Hammond, the forgotten giant who stood beside Bradman. For generations of cricket writers and historians, there was an exclusive club that defined batting greatness. 4 names: W.G. Grace, Jack Hobbs, Walter "Wally" Hammond, and Sir Donald Bradman. Many legendary batsmen have challenged that list over the decades, but for those who witnessed cricket's golden age, Hammond belonged among the game's true immortals. The numbers alone are staggering. Across a first-class career spanning more than 3 decades, Hammond scored over 50,000 runs, compiled 167 centuries, and averaged 56.10. In Test cricket, he amassed 7,249 runs at 58.45, including 22 centuries. But Hammond wasn't merely one of the world's greatest batsmen. He also claimed 732 first-class wickets, bowled genuinely dangerous fast-medium pace, and held an astonishing 820 catches, most of them in the unforgiving slip cordon. He wasn't just a batting genius. He was cricket's complete package. Early in his career, Hammond played with fearless aggression. He attacked every bowling attack in the world with dazzling stroke play, driving magnificently through the covers, cutting with precision, hooking without hesitation, and lofting bowlers whenever the opportunity appeared. His batting possessed an effortless elegance. The harder the ball travelled, the less effort he appeared to use. That was Hammond's gift. Perfect timing combined with immense physical strength produced shots of extraordinary power. But greatness isn't just about talent, it's about evolution. By the late 1920s, Hammond had transformed from an instinctive stroke maker into a master strategist. Before England's Ashes tour of Australia in 1928 to 1929, the 25-year-old devised a remarkably disciplined plan. He virtually abandoned the hook shot. He rarely attempted the cut. Instead, unless a delivery demanded punishment elsewhere, he resolved to score almost everything through the vast arc between extra cover and mid-wicket. Simple, calculated, relentlessly effective. The result was one of the greatest Ashes performances ever witnessed. 905 runs in 5 tests at an average of 113.12, a series record surpassed only once in history, by one man, Don Bradman. Even as the years passed, Hammond never seemed to lose the grace of youth. His footwork remained beautifully balanced. He would glide several yards down the pitch with remarkable composure before meeting the ball exactly where he wanted. Then came the swing. Smooth, unhurried, almost casual, yet the ball exploded from the bat with astonishing force, racing to the boundary before fielders had time to react. Few players combined elegance and power so perfectly. Physically, Hammond was unlike almost anyone who came before him. Among cricket's greatest batsmen, he was arguably the strongest athlete of them all. His bowling was genuinely fast-medium, good enough that Don Bradman once joked, he was too busy scoring runs to worry about bowling. That single remark says everything. Had Hammond focused solely on bowling, he might still have been remembered as a great cricketer. Instead, he became one of history's greatest all-round talents. And then there was slip fielding. For many who watched him, Hammond had no equal. He stood almost motionless until the final fraction of a second. Then, with astonishing speed, his hands moved. No dramatic dives, no desperate stretches. He simply plucked catches from the air with effortless certainty. As one writer beautifully described it, it was like picking an apple from a tree. Statistics reveal another remarkable trait. Most batsmen convert only a fraction of their 50s into centuries. Hammond was different. In first-class cricket, he scored 167 hundreds and was dismissed between 50 and 99 only 184 times. In Test cricket, the pattern was even more remarkable. He made 22 centuries and only 24 scores between 50 and 99. Once Hammond reached 50, opponents knew they were in trouble, because more often than not, he kept going. In 1938, Hammond became an amateur and assumed the England captaincy. Even in his 40s, he remained among the world's finest players. At the age of 43, in the 1946 season, he topped the first-class batting averages with 1,783 runs at 84.90, finishing a remarkable 16 average points ahead of the next best batsman. It was a reminder that class rarely fades. But the final chapter of Hammond's career was a painful one. England's Ashes tour of Australia in 1946-47 proved heartbreaking. Crippled by arthritis and weighed down by personal difficulties, Hammond could still score heavily against state sides, yet the runs deserted him in the Test arena. England suffered a crushing defeat. Soon after returning home, Hammond announced his retirement. He briefly returned for isolated appearances in 1950 and 1951, but the great career had effectively ended.
A much overused word, I think, about sportsmen is the word great, but Walter Hammond is truly a great cricketer.